Jessica Drew has taken a new journey in her life, motherhood. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then every read is dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This is the first couple of issues of Spider-Woman in the all-new, all-different Marvel. This takes place after Spider-Verse, after Secret Wars, and after everything else. This is her newest adventure. She never wanted children, not even a little. She was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., an agent of Hydra, an Avenger even, the world's greatest spider-themed super spy. And after her last adventure with Spider-Man in a giant spider-themed adventure, she returned and decided to hang up her costume, get some new duds, and become a mother? That's right, Jessica Drew has given it all up to become a proud mother. She's training Porcupine so he can become a hero in her stead, while trying to keep her baby and herself out of harm's way. She's even giving up her motorcycle, until eventually she needed to call her superheroing life completely quits and go on maternity leave. The former Avengers threw one heck of a party for her, a final farewell as she partakes on a new adventure, one of motherhood. And everyone has one big question: who's the father? Because no one wants to ask after Jessica throws food on Tony's armor just for asking her. Thus, the simple life began. Jessica had a difficult time adjusting. She couldn't eat enough froyo, hang out in alternate universes, or watch enough TV to keep her occupied. But she swore to stay out of trouble for the baby's sake. Keeping that in mind, Jessica took Carol Danvers' advice and went to an intergalactic hospital where they have the best maternity ward. She didn't want to tell Carol that she did it because Carol's not allowed to be right, but she went ahead. The place was packed, but eventually she did find the maternity ward, when out of nowhere 2 Skrulls arrived and they held up the entire ward. Jessica was stuck. She couldn't fight back without fear of harming her baby. She then sent a text to Carol to let her know that she came to the stupid Alpha Flight hospital and now she's a Skrull's hostage. Jessica looked back up at her captors. It's only 2 Skrulls, right? I can just get rid of them and save this whole ward. She then hit the ground clutching her stomach, telling them that the baby is coming. One of the Skrulls walks over and she grabs him with her legs and then steals his rifle and shoots the other one eating dinner. Meanwhile, Carol is off in deep space battling giant aliens when she gets a phone call from Jessica. Carol asks her if she found a doula yet, and Jessica told her, "Shut up! The Skrulls have the whole stupid hospital hostage." Carol ran out of her fight and out of the ship before rocketing back to Earth. Then they were cut off. So Jessica rounded up all of the women in the ward and they looked at her as a warrior. Some wanted her to protect them while some thought this was a terrible idea. But none of it mattered because Jessica had some crazy back pain. Either way, she had a plan. Carol was gaining more and more speed, constantly repeating, "Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, what did I do?" The backup squad then enters the maternity ward asking where the 2 previous guards were, and Jessica told them they went for snacks. As a matter of fact, it was fizzy red soft drinks. But the head Skrull doesn't believe it, and he wanted to search the room while he told Jessica to shut up by grabbing her hair. 2 women then jumped out of the laundry basket and began shooting the Skrulls, with Jessica using her venom blast on the one that they missed. Carol then called up her cell again to explain everything. The exiled prince of the Skrull Empire has cancer, and he was in that hospital. The Skrulls took the hospital to take the prince. To make matters worse, they sealed every entrance into the hospital. Jessica doesn't care though, and she tells Carol to just break the door down or something. Carol stops her. "You don't understand, Jessica. The hospital isn't on Earth. It's in a black hole. I'm so sorry, Jessica." Then, Jessica is cut off from every other hero. No one is able to save her. But there isn't anything to worry about, is there? This is Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, and she'll find a way to open those doors. So she enacts a new plan, one where she pretends to be a dead body to get into the morgue and get a keycard off of one of the surgeons. Using Carol and her team's help, Jessica manages to work her way through the labyrinth of the hospital's back hallways, in the aquarium area, past the giant two-faced monster, and into a room full of heads in glass jars. It's there that she takes a consult with a head in a jar, and she can't believe she is now talking to a head in a jar. The head in the jar tells her that it can open the doors, but she'll need to take him to a computer terminal with keycard access. So, carrying the head in a jar, Jessica begins her trek back over the furry mushrooms, the room full of gears, and back through the aquarium, all the way back up to the main room. The head in the jar floats over to the computer, where it reports that this will take 6 hours, and Jessica groans before calling Carol back up. "We don't have 6 hours, do we? The kid's in the most secure room in the hospital, Jess." "The kid? What kid?" "The Skrull Prince. He's only 13. 13? Why didn't you tell me that before?" "Because I knew I wouldn't be able to stop you from going to his rescue." "I'm sorry, Jess." "Oh my God, stop apologizing. Tell me where the kid is." So Jessica makes her way across the facility again, where she pries open some doors and walks into the prince's room. The kid is sitting there, very sad looking. She asks if he'll come with her, and after considering it, he agrees as long as he can take some granola bars, because he gets grumpy if his blood sugar bottoms out. As they leave, the prince comments that, "Jessica is that Avenger girl, right?" "Yep, that's me." The one with the butt? And Jessica falls silent because as they make their way to the door, the Skrulls are cutting their way in, and there's a lot of them. Jessica pulls out 2 pistols, and the kid tells her that she can't take all of these Skrulls on. Sure I can, I'm a superhero, remember? But you're pregnant! It's fine, just stay there till you hear me call for you. But then, Jess hits the ground with pain in her stomach, and the kid has to pull her out of the way just as the Skrulls enter ready to fight. Jess's water just broke. The Skrulls enter, and the prince steps out with his hands in the air, ready to go with them. But then he hits a button, turning on the climate control so he can make a run forward with Jess. He leads her into the supply closet, and they go through some deep tunnels in the back hallways of the hospital where they get a wheelchair and go onto a turbo lift. The prince then tells her to sit down so he can get her to an on-call room around the corner. She smiles as she has a seat, and the kid pushes the wheelchair down the hallway with the Skrulls chasing them. They lose the Skrulls and they make it to the on-call room where they lay Jess down for a C-section. And the prince calls up Carol to let her know that Jess is a little occupied right now. The Skrulls easily track down the prince and Jess. And just as she's getting her C-section started, the Skrulls begin cutting through the door. While they are using some futuristic technology to remove the baby and keep Jess awake, she tells them to hold off on all of the drugs because after they get the baby out, she has some Skrulls to squash. They work quickly and she begins to hear the baby crying, and it's a boy. Tears well up in Jess's eyes as she sees her son for the first time. And then she tells the doctors to close her up. She has a job to do. The Skrulls cut through and break the door down, and there stands Jessica Drew in a hospital gown. She runs out with 2 guns, ready to kick some major Skrull butt, flipping and shooting and dropping everyone with her powers, until eventually, she is the only one standing in the room with a tattered gown, blood on her, and a very determined look. The elevator dings behind her, so she turns around and tells them, Mama can do this all day. But the doors open to reveal Carol. They got inside of the building. Jess hits the ground. Good, because I was bluffing. My gut is on fire and my eyelids won't stay open. The next day, she wakes back up and they bring the baby over, while Carol and the prince are sleeping on the couch. Jess tells Carol to get up, she knows she's faking. So, Carol apologizes again, and Jess tells her to just stop. She didn't send the Skrulls there. Jess then looks at Carol. Maybe I can give this baby boy a normal life? And they both burst out laughing at the idea. No way in hell, he's totally screwed. No, I'm not gonna lie, when they first announced that Spider-Woman was gonna come back pregnant, I was not really on board with this storyline. But as the story went on and developed, I kinda started to like it. I don't know where they're gonna go with this, so make sure you check out the next comic book in this series if you wanna know where they go with the storyline. I'm kind of interested. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and if you wanna chat with me, follow me on Twitter @Comicstorian, check out my Instagram @Comicstorian, and don't forget to check out our gaming channel where we do gaming video game comic books, such as Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. We do various Let's Plays and other kinds of complete stories. I'll see you guys next time right here.